fans, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm in a special filming spot location because guess what? We have that performance SUV from an iconic Japanese brand as this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 Acura MDX. This is the high performance version known as the Type S. But before we get into this turbocharged all-wheel drive crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So Acura, they've been around since 1986, that premium brand of Honda. What's fascinating is they're doing a bang-up job bringing their Type S performance branding to most of their lineup. It started with the TLX, then it went MDX, and of course, we all know and love the Integra Type S. Now, when it comes to the MDX, this is a mid-size three-row crossover SUV. It's got some luxury, it's got the performance, but what I want to find out is that does it have the best reliability for a performance crossover SUV, especially when you're looking at BMW with the X5 or Audi or Mercedes-Benz. So let's go ahead, let's dive into our urban gray pearl metallic MDX Type S and find out. Right off the bat, the color for 2025 really fits it. I know some people don't love these primer style colors, but if you look closely as we zoom in, it's got a nice pearlescent metal flake pop to it. Now, you are going to get that very slim multi-jewel LED headlight design, our LED chicane daytime running lamp that's also with our LED turn signals. And then working our way down for 2025, you are getting some revision. They revised the lower corner air intakes. You could actually see the heat exchangers from behind, surrounded by gloss black with LED multi-jewel fog lamps down below as well. So it's nice to see that they kept the functionality, bringing more cool air for those heat exchangers, but also bringing the fog lamps as well. I know that is something that certain brands are getting rid of. And like I said, with that urban gray pearl metallic, just has a nice pop with the black. Now, as we come across that precision crafted performance grille, love the way they dropped that solid perimeter portion of the grille, really sunk it into the front fascia. You do have a forward-facing camera. They actually enlarged all of the grille openings on the Type S to bring more cool air. You got that massive Acura badge. Captain America could use this as a shield. I wonder if there's ever going to be a Captain Acura. They could use that freaking badge as a shield. Really digging the color. And then on the bottom portion, you do have the same grille design, but it is also in that gloss black with your lower lip splitter nicely blended in. Behind this lower grille, you could actually see the intercooler peeking from behind because this is a turbocharged, intercooled, performance-powered SUV. But let me know what you think about the revised front end. Of course, you still got the Type S badge. That lets you know that that's that performance level from Acura. Now, as we rise up, they kind of reshape the portion of the nose here, going into the hood, that nice crisp peak. It's almost like you're taking a fresh piece of paper from Dunder Mifflin and you're folding it just a little to give you that nice crisp edge all the way to the windshield. Everything else hood-wise is going to be the same as the previous model year. Now, as we come around the bend, if we got a new front end, we got to have new wheels, and that's what they're bringing. So you have this multi-spoke design, 5-spoke design, machined aluminum with the gloss black. We still got our ragu colored Brembo calipers with the Acura badging. Rotors are over 14 inches in diameter. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of the tire? Tires are 275 on the width, 40 series sidewall. That's a 21-inch wheel. Now, my zonk is this, the gloss black. They should have painted that all urban gray all the way around. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. You are going to have your adaptive air suspension. And what's great is depending on what mode you go into is going to change how that suspension does its job. Plus, this also has that super handling all-wheel drive. So it's going to send power to the rear wheels because it is front-wheel drive based Unlike a lot of the competition, which is rear-wheel drive base, this is front-wheel drive base, and then it sends power to the rear wheels. But let me know what you think about the new wheel, especially with our Urban Gray Pearl. Now, coming down the side, got to have another Type S badge. I'm a little confused why this is here. Why do we need to have the trim actually on the front fender? I say just peel that off. I almost want to take a piece of dental floss and take that right off. I'm going to zonk that. I also like, besides the way that they sculpted the mirror caps, look at the way that the trim actually forms the base of the support for your mirrors. You got your LED turn signals in there. Up top, we have gloss black roof rails with your panoramic sunroof. I say take those roof rails and just toss them in the ocean. This would look really a lot sleeker, or more sleek, depends on what part of the country you're living. I think it would really clean up the look if you got rid of those gloss black roof rails. You do have gloss black top and bottom around the window frame openings, color matched on the door handles, and then they used a little bit of gloss black on the trim, and then also on the side sill extension. I would have liked to seen a majority of the gloss black just be painted. Just paint it, please. Working our way towards the rear, you got a decent sized quarter window with that gloss black trim. I'm okay with that. Coming around the back side, it's almost perfect, almost. You got a nice roof spoiler, color matched shark fin antenna. We just need to figure out a way to get rid of this. I mean, I could rip it off, but then you're just gonna have a hole in the glass here, or you're just gonna have the motor portion sticking out through the glass. Would have been nice to put that underneath the spoiler to just clean up the rear of the vehicle, but you'll see that you have full LED, that chicane style, almost like the headlights, MDX badge, super handling all-wheel drive. Of course, you gotta have a Type S badge. And then working our way down to ground level, you got that simulated diffuser area. This does come off. You could tow up to 5,000 pounds with this vehicle. And then I love the exhaust. Stainless steel tip, slash cut, staggered arrangement, looking really crisp. And it's supposed to have some sound, which we're gonna find out. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Type S. All right, guys, we got the hood popped open. What are you gonna find? Tasteful engine cover with the Acura badge. What do we got going on? You have a top-mounted turbocharger. How do I know? Because it's literally right here. It's a single turbocharger for that 3-liter V6. But what kind of power do we have? You're looking at 355 horsepower, 354 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And remember, the internals, especially the bottom end of that engine, are all forged. Forged pistons, forged crank, forged rods. That's gonna give you the reliability. 0 to 60 in about 5.3 seconds with the all-wheel drive. Top speed is 111 miles an hour. MPG, 17 in the city, 21 on the highway. The vehicle weighs 4,800 pounds, and it does tow up to 5,000 pounds. I think the other weak link to this vehicle is gonna be that brake-by-wire system. So even though we have large rotors, over 14 inches in diameter up front, this does have a brake-by-wire system rather than your conventional braking setup. And we'll talk more about that when we do the drive. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear what this performance SUV sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Acura MDX Type S. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I gotta have a crossover SUV because, you know, my kids are so busy with school activities, after school activities, my job, I have to carry a bunch of, you know, supplies and tools with me, but I don't wanna be bored. I wanna have some fun driving. I want something that's engaging, that's gonna make me feel good. I'm digging this MDX Type S. How much is it? Starting price is an MSRP of $76,300. Let's see what you get for your dinero to the door panels. I do like the way Acura does the two-tone. The soft touch black up top with the orchid white, the black stitching, that's real wood trim. And I like the way there's no veneer finish on it. You got ambient lighting, 3-way memory seat settings, and on top of that, we have massage seats. I love the way they blacked out our over 30 speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system with those aluminum black speaker grill covers, no gloss black, and then the door pocket is large enough to where you could go to Renfest in this, get 2 of those massive turkey legs, and a big old bottle of sarsaparilla to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, digging how they brought more stitching. There's that open pore wood. The zonk is the gloss black. Too much gloss black right here, but I do like the way they did more stitching. Down below, you are gonna have a 12-volt, perfect location for a radar detector. Highly recommend. Slide on in, we got the all-new 12.3-inch infotainment system screen. So this is a touch screen system, no more precision touchpad. And what's wonderful about it is that it's very intuitive and easy to use. You have your whole Google Maps set up, the Google Suite, Alexa, all the different, look at this, you click on ambient lighting, you actually have pre-selected ambient lighting for you. And I love the way that they have, like Suzuka, very famous racetrack in Japan. They actually just ran the Formula One race there this past weekend. Love the way they have all of these different themes. That just, I don't know, it just makes it a little bit extra special. What about cameras? Throw it into reverse, better resolution, 360, but it's not just about going backwards. You see this little button right here where it says camera? Watch this, I push it. Now you got cameras out the front. You can check out your 21-inch wheels so you don't scratch them. Really, really nice how they did that and how they just made it so easy. But look how fast the swipe is on all the different apps. You got cabin talk. This is where you could yell at your kids without actually raising your voice. My dad would still yell, even with the cabin talk. It'd just be louder. And then we're right back to where we started. You do have this aluminum start-stop button, illuminated red, of course. You got nice toggle switches, real switches for your dual climate control, and you could also control the rear seat as well. 3 stages of heated seats, 3 stages of ventilated seats, and of course, we can't forget the massage seats on top of that. See, watch, look on the screen. See how it has your massage setting in there for both the passenger and the driver. I like the way they put a spine right there. Electric bolt. I wonder if the seats electrify you just to wake you up. So that's another way of doing that. And I love the way it's just very easy to have those buttons. There's our ventilated seats. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, is there USB-Cs? Got a USB-C and a USB-A hidden. I do like the aluminum twist here for our dynamic modes. Look at that. It's like playing a freaking video game, man. I missed the game Outrun. I want to play Outrun so bad right now. It's not even freaking funny. You hold it, that puts you in Sport Plus mode. Down below, this is going to control your 10-speed automatic, like the silver trim. Of course, you got your Acura official Twinkie holder, a real volume knob. This has all been reconfigured because we don't have a trackpad anymore. Nice large area for your cell phone, wireless charging, 2 cup holders, soft material with the stitching. Open it up. You got a place for your tokens, your coins, all your little collectibles along the way. And then you lift this up, 2 USB-Cs, and you have enough room in there for 2 Mad Balls. I wish I had my Mad Balls. My mom gave them to my brothers and sisters, and they destroyed my balls. I hate it when my brothers and sisters would bust my balls. Used to hate it, especially the Mad Balls. I miss those. Seats, the leather, the piping. Look at the way they have a little Alcantara in there. You do have your power seat controls, easy to get to. I have power seat controls as well, not just you. And then up top, we got that power shade, panoramic sunroof. Look how fast it is. And then we got speakers everywhere. I almost feel like there's a speaker in between my legs, right, my crotch. But why don't you come over here? I don't want to show you my crotch. I want to show you the wheel in this MDX. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 3 memory seat settings for the driver's seat as well. Love the Type S sill plate, looking good. pedal box right out of their freaking GTP race car. Aluminum dead pedal, brake, and throttle. Seat controls, easy to get to within a fingertip reach. The seats are fantastic. They did a good job compromising size and also support. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here. Steering wheel, it looks like it's plucked out of an NSX. Flat bottom with the Type S badge. Love the stitching, the 2 different types of leather. You have flat black on the controls, plus a heated steering wheel. And then you have paddles to go up and down that 10-speed automatic transmission. It is a power tilting telescoping transmission. And then you have that beautiful 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. You could scroll through a cornucopia of different information inside the gauges. Plus, look at how the gauges change when you go into the different modes. So that's Sport Plus. Nice to have that. And a head-up display. So they got you covered. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the mid-row. Yes, there's 3 rows in this thing. Let's get in the mid-row and see how usable this MDX Type S is. All right, guys, mid-row time, and this is where things get very interesting because Acura engineers and designers have really worked this mid-row very well. So you could see, you could fit 3 people across here. But let's say you don't have 3 people. Let's say you just have 1 or 2 people and you want a little bit more comfortable experience for them. It's all done with your index finger. There's a little tether here. You pull on that, boom. We now have captain's chairs, 2 cup holders, a place for 2 Costco hot dogs, still $1.50, hot dog and a Pepsi. And then you want to bring it back up, you can. Another thing you could do is actually remove it. And what's cool is you could store it in the cargo holder underneath the cargo floor, so it's not like left in a parking lot or in a tree or somebody steals it. And it's not going to take up room in your garage. Now these seats, they do slide, which is great, and they also recline. And they recline quite a bit considering there's another row behind us. You do have these large pockets. This is where you're going to want to put your 1-pound bag of Twizzlers, maybe some Charleston Chew. I remember Charleston Chew used to just pull and it was like, and then it would snap. Little command center back here. We do have AC controls, heated seats, but no ventilated seats. That's a zonk to me. 74 Gs and you can't cool my butt back here. And then you do have your 12 volt, 2 USB-Cs. I've always wondered what this is supposed to be. This should be a home power source. What's going on there? Seats though are very comfy. You do have your manual security shades, little sunshades. And then like I said, seats recline and everything. And if you want the armrest, you got the armrest. But why don't we go ahead, I'm gonna squeeze my butt into that 3rd row and see just how comfortable or uncomfortable it is in this MDX. All right, guys, I was able to contort my body to fit back here. And that's the thing is that with these 3rd rows and some of these smaller mid-size crossover SUVs, it's almost for like an emergency or a backup in case you find out that, hey, in college you partied a little too much and you had a couple extra kids that you didn't know about. But the seats, I feel like the material is just not the same that everybody else gets. My knees are way too high to be comfortable. I would ask to remove this mid seat just so I could stretch my legs out. You do have USB-Cs and you got these little tiny cup holders that maybe you could put a little sippy cup. I remember that growing up. Like my mom was so paranoid about all of us kids making a mess that we had to drink everything out of sippy cups. The good news is that you have AC vents back here and you get speakers. So you could rock out with your friends back here and be able to listen to Hannah Montana or whatever little music you're listening to. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into that cargo area because I want to go for a drive in this MDX. All right, guys, time to get in the cargo area. We're going to do it old-fashioned way. Hit the button, electric assist. Now, what's interesting is that compared to a lot of the competition, this is a mid-size 3-row. So I sat in that 3rd row, showed you how much room we have. Here's how much room you have with that 3rd row up. And it actually is quite versatile. So how much space do we actually have? The hard numbers is with the 3rd row up, 16 cubic feet. Fold the 3rd row down, that's going to give you 39 cubic feet of space. Fold the mid row down, that's going to give you 71 cubic feet of space. Lots of room. I do like the way they got this little area here where you could put a gallon of chocolate milk. You do have your 12 volt. And then putting the seats down are just so easy. It's like, boom, boom, that's it. And then you can see how you had that USB-A all the way in the back corner for your third row. And that's on both sides. Like I pointed out, there's a USB-A on both sides. On top of that, the other big piece of news is look at how much usable space we have. You could actually put red towels, black towels, and tons of water back here. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. This is a plastic razor blade. You ever seen one of those? This helps you take emblems off and stuff like that without scratching the paint. Another cool thing you could do is watch this. Now you have non-carpeted areas, so you can put your dirty items here, and this could be something that takes a better beating over time. So nice to see that. But why don't we go ahead? There's always surprises here on Raiti's Rides. We're gonna take you down a twisty road and try to surprise you. Let's go on throttle in this MDX Type S. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Acura MDX Type S. It's got its upgrades and updates for 2025. I'm gonna go ahead and we are gonna shift manually with the paddles. That's gonna allow us to really take advantage of that V6 turbocharged engine. And yes, I am fully aware that the competition does have more horsepower. No doubt about it. But is this the most reliable? And do you have plenty of power to make it happen? That's what we're gonna find out here. So you have a small gear indicator in the lower left-hand corner of the tach. I wish it was a little bit larger. I'm sure you heard that before. Third gear, on throttle, here we go. All the way up to red line. On the brakes. Nice. Look at that super handling all-wheel drive doing its thing. Very balanced. Very composed. Love the way it claws at everything. Look at that. Very nicely. I love how the car communicates through the steering wheel. I wish there was a little less body roll, but you know what? It's manageable. It works with you, not against you. Let's go ahead and come to a complete stop here so that we can see how this all-wheel drive goes. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Gets it to the ground. Fast shifts from that 10-speed using the paddles. Here we go. Just a little too much body roll. But like I said, she works with you very, very well. Nice, look at the grip. You can freaking feel that super handling all-wheel drive, the power being sent to the rear wheels. Not a ton of nosedive on the brakes. And of course the brakes are phenomenal. You got Brembos. You're able to shed that speed very, very quickly. Love the updates on the interior, especially the center console. Some extra nice trim going on. You got your 12.3-inch infotainment system, well within reach now, and it's all touchscreen, no touchpad nonsense to deal with. Even though I didn't mind the Acura Precision touchpad as much as, say, the Lexus touchpad. That was probably one of the worst. Paddles are perfectly placed for you to go up and down the 10-speed automatic, and you got great visibility. It's just a very, very well laid out package in this car. The fact that you still have all physical buttons for the AC, for the massage seats, for the heated and ventilated seats, the whole shabam, nice to have that. And of course, during this whole drive, we are doing it in Sport Plus mode. Nice to have that extra bit of sportiness from the suspension, the steering, the throttle sensitivity, and how the 10-speed behaves with the 3-liter turbocharged V6. Now on this on-throttle twisty bit experience, I'm gonna just let the 10-speed do its thing. And we're gonna see how well it shifts. Does it know what gear to be in that I want it to be in? Those are important factors when you're running your favorite twisty road. But it's just one of those SUVs, I know I've been saying car, but one of those SUVs where it does work with you and not against you. And it's really smooth. You don't get a bunch of turbo lag down low. It really builds power very nicely. And like I said, with the super handling all-wheel drive, it's killer. But if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Nice shifts from the 10-speed. Love the steering wheel. Really allows you to grip it very, very well. Here we go. Yee-hoo! 10-speed's doing a great job shifting itself. The only thing that really kind of messes up the dance a little bit between you and your MDX Type S are the brakes. The brake-by-wire system is not my favorite. Is it terrible? No, but it's just not my favorite. So that's one thing just to be on the lookout. But everything else is really, really just, it's here for you to do the things you want to do. You want to run the twisty bits? You could do it. You need to take the kids to school? You could do it. You have the Bang & Olufsen sound system, first time in the MDX Type S, and just, you know, the whole package just really, really comes together nicely. Seats are comfortable, they're supportive, and, you know, you are getting some sound pumped in through the speakers. It's nothing too obnoxious, which is the good news. Nothing too obnoxious. Dash is easy to read, and I like the way that when you go into the different modes, it kind of changes up the visual experience of what's going on with it. So that's a nice touch as well. All right, guys, one more time for me. Definitely one more time for you. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Nice. Love the way it gets the power to the ground on those brakes. The turn-in is really, really good. Really grips well with those 21-inch wheels and tires. You're not getting a bunch of understeer, which is nice. And very, very balanced. I mean, look at this, through this left-right transition, very planted. But like I said, this really is that SUV that you get to have your performance, you get to have the amenities, and you get amazing reliability, and they hold their value really well, which is awesome. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what this 2025 MDX Type S is bringing for the moolah. We're gonna get back and wrap this one up, so I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways with this 2025 Acura MDX Type S. We got to thank everybody at Acura for getting us access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this is the most reliable performance midsize crossover SUV out of the bunch? Give me your answer down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raise Rides family. Gotta get up to LGR. She's working that camera like a champ. Thank you, Lori, for working so hard. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.